Each time I blink, something in my room goes missing. I didn't notice until my bed disappeared, so I've been holding my eyelids open for 5 minutes now. My eyes burn from a lack of moisture, but I persist. I don't know what will happen once I run out of things in my room. Working retail, I got used to kids screaming bloody murder whenever they didn't get what they wanted. So when I saw a man dragging a bawling child out of the store, I assumed it was a boy and his father. I realized my error when a hysterical woman began screaming, "Where's my son?" "It's either me or the dog," I said. He chose the dog. I've never been more relieved in my life. I tried saving my boyfriend, but he always slept through it whispering to us at night. He thinks I'm crazy. Now that he broke up with me, anything the dog does to him is not my fault. The Emperor's new clothes are made of air. It's been this way for years. He parades around us, an undeserved aura of superiority trailing him with every naked footfall. The boy who pointed out his nudity was dragged off, never to be seen again. Now we all know to keep up the ruse. The devil said I was going to die, but I could extend my life if I sacrificed my kids. I wasn't ready to die, so I did what he asked of me. I got into a car accident the next day. The devil came up to me as I lay dying on the road. "I hope you enjoyed the extra 24 hours, he said. When I kept finding love letters all over the house, I thought my husband was being romantic. He kept denying it, but I assumed he was just being silly. It's the 3rd day of my solo camping trip. I found a new love letter in my sleeping bag this morning. It wasn't there yesterday. Large smiles, some fake, some genuine, are plastered on the faces of those around me. Guards with rifles stand on either side of the screen we're forced to watch. The king makes another lame joke. Everyone laughs but me. I correct my mistake when a guard points his gun at me. Now that the deed is done, I realize carving a knife out of a jawbreaker was a genius move. I don't know what the police will think if they find sugar in the wound, but that's not my problem. They can't catch me without finding the murder weapon first, and I've got candy to eat. I'm a descendant of witches, but the magic that runs through me is so watered down that I'm not as precise as my ancestors. Sometimes my spells hit the wrong target or don't work at all. I'm sorry about your son, but you should have told me that he shared a name with your husband. Getting buried alive was unbearably horrific. Low oxygen made me lightheaded. A lack of space made my muscles seize up, and claustrophobia put me in a never-ending panic. But I no longer want to leave the coffin. Whatever is digging me out of the ground does not sound human. My swimming pool eats people. The little girl's head has been under the water for over a minute. I don't know how she hasn't drowned yet, but she can't free herself. Sighing, I lift her out of the water. The pool will be mad, but it shouldn't complain. It ate yesterday. I hid the pregnancy for as long as I could, but Mom eventually found out. She said I was too young, but I wanted to keep the baby. At least, I did before the obstetrician re-entered his office, pale with fear, and said, "I don't know what you're carrying, but it's not human." The dentist acts nice, but I know he wants to steal my teeth. His surgical mask can't hide the drool seeping down his lips, and his manic eyes stare too intently at my mouth. I won't let him steal them. They're mine! Next time his fingers enter my mouth, I'm biting them off. It's bad enough that this thing pretends to be my son, but the psychological warfare is unbearable. Daddy, why won't you look at me? Daddy, are you mad at me? What did I do wrong, Daddy? That thing can cry and beg for my affection as much as it wants. It won't fool me. Is there such a thing as phantom hair syndrome? I'm bald, but I keep feeling things moving through my hair. At first it was minor things, like the wind or water. But lately, I've been feeling invisible hands combing through my scalp and tugging on hair that isn't there. My vision worsens every time I go to the eye clinic. The optometrist thinks she's so clever, but I know she's ruining my eyesight. That greedy witch is making me blind just so I'll buy her glasses. She won't get away with this. I'm throwing bleach in her face the next time I see her. When it thinks no one is watching, it slithers out of its child's skin, eats small animals, and crawls back into its skin suit. I'm the only one who knows the truth, so I need to kill it before it gets big enough to eat people. I'm not a child. That thing isn't human. I brought a monster into existence through willpower alone. He ate my school bullies. I was grateful back then, but he stayed hungry. Now he eats people over the slightest provocation. Conflicts that could be resolved through conversation end in death. I can't get him to stop. The aliens only ate attractive people, so the beautiful among us wore face masks to protect themselves. Masks turned into a status symbol. Not wearing it eventually became an admission of ugliness. Then aliens began eating masked folk in an attempt to get to the pretty ones. Why do you keep helping it across the river? The toad asked the frog. You know it will keep stinging you until you die. Its nature demands violence. Because deep down, the scorpion has a good heart, said the frog. And maybe it won't sting me this time. He stared at the mirror. A stolen crown sat on the reflection's head, rings taken from graveyards rested on its fingers, and a robe, covered with the stains of beggars who pleaded for aid, draped its body. What a bad person, the man said to the mirror. I'd never be so cruel. Why do animals have different names when we eat them? After the Norman conquest of 1066, the French were in power. Poor farmers kept the English name, but the elite called food by their French name. For example, pig became pork. Oh, okay. So what animal is We sympathized with the queen when she killed the kings. Those white-haired, pale-eyed bastards had it coming. But the queen has lost her mind. Now she orders the execution of all albinos. I can dye my hair, but I don't know what to do about my eyes. I am a weretable. It's like a werewolf, but I turn into a table. It's as lame as it sounds. At least I don't kill people every full moon. But I wish I could move. Now more than ever. There's smoke coming from my kitchen. The night is long, and I can't run if my home catches fire. He only smiled when he should have laughed. He called me cute instead of beautiful. My voice was not captivating to him, only pleasant. Anything less than intense admiration is an insult. So of course I killed him. He could not be permitted to live after such disrespect. Postpartum depression is hard to overcome. The voice on the phone was loud, but I barely heard it. Uncut sausages in my wife's stew had 5 growths on the end. growths resembling fingers. I stared at the boiling pot and tried to remember the last time I heard our baby cry. He pointed at the red canvas. "This is blue," he said. "No," my sister said. "It's red." A bullet burst through my sister's head. Mute with horror, I watched her lifeless body fall to the floor. Then the enforcer pointed his gun at me and asked, "What color is this?" "The apocalypse will come if I don't create roadkill. Sometimes I drive for hours until I hit a bird or a squirrel. Tonight, the beast kept avoiding my car. I got very desperate. I needed to hit something before it was too late. Homo sapiens are a type of animal, right?" The murderer was a tall, green-skinned male alien with black eyes and long fingers. It was also a part of the cigarette cast. "What did the murderer look like?" the officer asked the witness. "It was male," the witness said. "Can you give a more detailed description?" "No." The Balance Bureau is responsible for ensuring that the equilibrium of society remains stable. This means people are winners and losers by design. That job would have changed your life for the better, so we forced management not to hire you. Thank you for your sacrifice.